Hi, Karen from Quantum Heart Awakening. This will be a Divine Feminine check-in. All right, let's see where we go today. Divine Feminine Collective is in a place of illumination. There is great light being shed on your life, new awareness arising. I think it's pretty fascinating that we have both drought and thunderstorms here, and they're both in reverse. So when I see opposites like that show up in a similar position, for me, that is a blockage in intuition, a blockage in discernment. It's like we have polar opposites here and they're both in reverse. So there's like a, where do I go? What do I choose? What do I settle on? We also have karmic debt here in reverse. We have prayer and womb in reverse. Interesting how many reversals showed up. And in the unconscious position, we have another womb-like card, planting seeds. All right, so this is a difficult message to hear, feminines, but I'm going to call you out, and by default, I have to call myself out as well. So basically, let me set this up. So in the unconscious, the thing that we've pushed into the shadows is this idea of planting seeds for future growth. Feminines have been in traversing the deepest, darkest depths of pain, of awareness, of suffering, of feeling, of emotional truth, transmuting energies for the collective for so long now that it's absolutely understandable, feminines, if you are so completely shot and exhausted. In this time of exhaustion, it's really easy to lose hope, to lose focus, to lose mission, to lose purpose, to lose soul fulfillment, to lose vibrancy, vitality. Let's honor the pain of the journey. You know, a lot of density has been coming up in all of the readings in this last week. A lot of pain, a lot of sorrow. It makes sense to me, though, because there's also been a lot of accountability. And accountability is not always the easiest task, right? We have to confront the ego to take accountability for the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so this specific message, feminines, there's something about, I know that you might feel you've put in so much work that you can't see the end goal, or you can't imagine or envision the product of that which you desire to even arrive or to even come into your life. This feels a little bit like a hopelessness, maybe a despair, a mild flavor of grief and suffering here. Honor where you're at. Honor the emotions that are coming up. Take care of your body, right? Your body is the innocent bystander in all of this mental, psychosomatic, spiritual drama that's playing out, right? Our bodies are the stage. And, hold on. Right as I said that, I got a crick in my neck. That was interesting. Yeah, feminines, this message here of, there's something about pushing into the shadows, this idea of micro investment for macro growth, right? Taking micro action on a daily basis is much more effective than taking no action and taking huge action on one day or 1 month or one chunk of your life. There's something really important here about returning to micro presence and really, the word imminence is coming up. I could do a whole nother video on what imminence is. You can look it up, but it's this kind of idea of this inward dwelling existence, this inner, the indwelling source consciousness, the indwelling God. You know, something about really honoring that your inner world is this grand landscape, is the journey, is the soul purpose, to confront your self on the inside at each juncture of this journey. Okay, I like that. That's a good message. I mean, it's a good message for anybody. You know, micro steps will produce a macro beautiful outcome. Let's get some of these questions really quick. All right, what do feminines need to know? Answer the call. Okay, I'm just going to take all these. We have answer the call. Is that more than one? No. Answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? Leap. You go first. The universe will catch you. You're already doing it. Stop overthinking and keep facing your true north. It's interesting here that I didn't even talk about these other cards. I have faith that they'll circle back and it'll make sense. There'll be a spot for it later on in the reading. I'm losing my train of thought. Okay, let me just keep going. The ever unfolding rose cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. And then we have this unbound card, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Okay, it came out in reverse, and it's not an accident that it's the last card as well as this karmic debt. Let me read it again. Releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. What's screaming to me is this overthinking. I think overthinking is at a high on the planet. I think anxiety is at a high. I think if you were to test any random human at any given time, I would believe that some part of their nervous system is activated or dysregulated. It's just the nature of our culture. I caught myself scrolling on my phone, like doom scrolling, and I got a sharp pain between my eyes, between my eyebrows. And I said, holy crap, like, what are you doing, Karen? You need to stop, put your phone down and take a break, take a breath, bring some awareness to the body, get back into this body and get back into the room. You know, let's be here now in this tangible 3D world of, like, you know, matter. Okay. Let's see what else is here. I keep staring at this karmic debt card. Let me put this here. Let's get some more. The ever unfolding rose. You know, this whole reading so far just keeps echoing back to accountability and sovereignty. If you find yourself in something dense right now, in something difficult, you're being called to the highest and best possible interpretation of this situation. By walking that path to even attempting to find out what is the best possible interpretation of the shitstorm that's unfolding in front of me right now, even just the mere sincerity of that inquiry will shift the way you show up and the way you respond to the dense situation that is unfolding in front of you. The way you come into relationship with this situation will shift. You will shift. It will shift you by calling upon something higher, right? It's that humility to say to source or God or whatever you like to believe in, to say, hey, I can't possibly make this decision for myself right now. Please intervene on my behalf. Show me a way through the forest because I am lost. I do not know which way to go. I have tried all my tricks. I've tried all my, all the different ways I knew how to approach this situation, but I'm all out of answers. So please intervene on my behalf. Okay. Life purpose, truth, clarity in reverse, answers in reverse. Isn't it interesting that, oh God, it never fails that the cards that go together are both in the same position. Okay, confidence. You know, this reminds me of this card here. You go first and the universe will catch you. It's like when you take the step, when you vibrate to the quantum field and you say, I am seeking clarity on this, I am seeking answers on this particular situation, that humble inquiry, it's like kneeling at the altar of the quantum field of void space, of source consciousness, and say, please, I need help. Help me seek truth. Help me seek clarity. This confidence and this life purpose will unfold after this situation, after you can humble yourself to kneel at the altar of the unknown, to face the mystery. Yeah, I'm very drawn to this tree of life here, as above, so below. Here's the thing, and I'm sorry to keep bringing this up, but I just have to honor that there is a lot of dense energy here. I could feel it in my chest. My chest is actually contracted right now. So let's honor that if you are in hell, let's just call it what it is. If you are in hell right now, know that because your roots have reached all the way down to hell, your branches will also reach up to heaven. Whatever, take that heaven and hell terminology, as you see fit. It's just dense and less dense energies, right? If we turn the life purpose card on sideways, we now balance the scale of hell and heaven, of dense and less dense, of light and dark, right? We balance this scale, and now we can look at it like a spectrum, right? It's on its side, it's horizontal. And so now we could just look at this journey as a constant flux of, are we moving closer to density or are we moving closer to less density? And when you can look at it and approach these really dark moments of your life in this way, it takes a little bit of the sting out of it. I'm not saying it's going to make it easier. I'm saying the work is the work is the work. And if you're in pain, that's your work. That's what's showing up on your side of the street. However, remember that if you are in the trenches right now, you also have access, like a mirrored exponential. Like if you think you're, down here, if you honor the mirror reflection of that and flip it and reverse it, that means you're that much closer to whatever, heaven, to bliss, to oneness, to whatever. This is an interesting reading. It feels a little choppy for me, but whatever. We're going to keep rolling with it. We just had what shot out on the floor of blessings and courage. Yeah, isn't it interesting? Courage and confidence and all of these. This reminds me of a home reading we did. Did we do a home reading? I just remember something similar happened in this reading where all of these cards are speaking to what's on the other side of seeking truth. Look at this. Let's just put this together for a second. Look how balanced this is. We have these three cards of truth, answers, and clarity. And now picture the scales of justice for a second, and life purpose, this heaven and hell, this tree of life, is the fulcrum in which the scales can, shift. And on the one side, we have seeking clarity, truth, and answers. And on the other side is blessings, courage, and confidence. I mean, this isn't an accident here. It's really beautiful. In the unconscious, we have prosperity. Yeah, so for some of you, Divine Feminines, where are you pushing away success? Or rather, does success absolutely terrify you? Does a successful relationship, job, career, mission, purpose, parenting, family life, does a successful any of these things terrify you? And if so, take ownership of that. What about those things is scary? What about everything going right is terrifying right now? Yeah, and then we also have in the unconscious transformation. Let me get some other question cards really quick. Oh, we have lots of time. Hold on. Okay. All right. What do we got for Divine Feminines? What are we working with? What questions do they need to ask? Do we need to ask? What am I listening for? How can I know myself as absolute, right? That's my oneness card of like, how can I allow that feeling and truth that I am the all, that I am the I am, right? How can I allow that truth into my life just a little bit more? And then we have what enchants me, delight. That's always my card of play and like getting back to joy and silliness and fun. And we have to learn to balance the density with the light, right? How can I deepen trust that my intuition knows the way? And then what does this say in reverse? Is it time to reclaim and reinvent the structures in my life, taking over? This is a big sovereignty message. Anything else? What's in the unconscious? Am I carrying myself with love? Ooh, okay, hold on. Ooh, that one I felt in the chest. Am I carrying myself with love, pushed into the shadows? Feminine, some of you have built your entire identity around taking care of others, around being in service to others. And I have to tell you from my own experience of burnout and pain and self-abandonment that your service, if it does not include yourself, is not sustainable. You will burn out, or you will sink into resentment or frustration or even martyrdom, right? It's like, I'm doing all this stuff and no one else is doing, whatever. I grew up in a family where, yes, the matriarchs were incredibly loving, and I had a lot of Catholic Italian guilt, right? There was almost like the love and the loving acts and all of the duties and all of the beautiful things that family did for one another was sacred and beautiful. However, when it was weaponized and used to guilt someone into doing something, it became something else. And it's just not sustainable. Someone or another burns out eventually. So I'm going to ask you, are you carrying yourself with love? And what does that look like? What would it look like to wake up and just consider yourself first? And I know for the parents out there, that's a very hard thing to do, especially when everything is moving so fast and, people are struggling to people are struggling to be present with themselves, let alone their families, but they're struggling to make a living and support their families. And so, a lot of this important stuff falls by the wayside when we're worrying about survival, right? When we're worrying about paying the bills and getting food on the table and all of these very important things. But even in a dire situation, there are ways to carry yourself with love, to consider yourself, even if that's saying a prayer for yourself or giving yourself a loving pep talk when you wake up in the morning. There are all these little micro ways that that don't cost anything other than our awareness and our presence. Anything else for Divine Feminines? Whew. Okay. Let's see. Okay, we have breaking through in reverse. So not time yet, facing your fear, tame and attain, and the illusion. Okay. Hold on. I have a message, but let me just see. Yeah, okay. Okay, we're getting repeating messages now. So what's in the unconscious is this immense growth. So do you see how this is starting to mirror? We're getting a similar message that after you do this, all of this prosperity and confidence and courage and growth and transformation is on the other side, waiting for you, right? So let's drop into these messages here. I'm very drawn to this tame and attain and breakthrough cards in reverse. I'm proud of you, feminines, because many of you understand that by facing your fears, that will unlock the key to your discernment, right? By facing your fears and taking full responsibility for what's moving through your body, your nervous system, you will more readily be able to dismantle and identify what is reality, what is an illusion, right? What is reality and what is a false perception? And then the next step of that, the next iteration of that is not only, okay, step one is this reality? Is this illusion? Step two is, how can I take accountability for my false perception? What is it about this situation that I'm perceiving? Or what is it about me and my upbringing or the way I think that made me perceive XYZ, whatever it is? This is a deeper, more rich, full-bodied accountability of your shadow, of your whatever, insecurity, vulnerability. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let's see, what should we get? Let's get some of these. All right, anything for divine feminines? Anything else for divine feminines? Let's see what this says. Detachment. With detachment, you finally feel whole inside, with or without the fulfillment of a particular desire. Ironically, that's often when it's fulfilled. Okay, I'm feeling into this puzzle piece in this greater story, and I'm feeling into what's emerging right now. So what have we been talking about in this reading? We've been talking about taking accountability. We've been talking about taking a leap before you can access the outcome, right? All of the good stuff is on the other side of this scary thing, or the scary accountability, or the scary vulnerability, whatever it is. So you're being called, divine feminines, to, even in the trenches of self, to detach from what that looks like, right? Catch yourself if you start creating narratives about what's on the other side. You know, I would even detach from what success and prosperity looks like for you, because odds are it's going to look different, and it's also going to pull you away from being focused on what's on your side of the street. So there's, even if it's a good thing, sometimes we have to detach, because it's, that detachment is still limiting, even if it's to a beautiful, wonderful, delightful thing. And then what we have here, right action, discernment card. So I don't know how to say this word. Aparigraha literally means let everything that wants to go, go, and everything that wants to come, come. Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, this is a discernment piece, and this is a living in balance. I'm going to bring, where is it? Where is it? I'm going to bring this card back, because there's something so beautiful about this life purpose card coming into full balance. When we can access this grounding of neither clinging nor rejecting, of neither being in love nor fear, in light nor dark, when we can manifest or step into this tempered way of living, right? Temperance, when we can honor the temperance of all situations and approach them with some sort of conscious sobriety, right? It's a sobriety to be sober, to not let our illusions drug us into a narrative, into an illusion, into projecting something onto the situation that isn't really there. That's when everything you ever desired arrives. Beautiful. Anything else from this deck, Spirit? Anything else for divine feminines? Yes, we have intuition. We've been talking about this the whole reading. Each person's road to the inner Lord is extraordinary and personal. How liberating to listen inside and sense moment to moment what's needed. You've heard me since the beginning of my channel talk about discernment. Discernment and intuition go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. Our intuition fuels our discernment, and our discernment, it's like a feedback loop. Our discernment, the action we take based on our intuition, then feeds the next layer of intuition, and the cycle continues. And then we have, come on. This is another card of detachment. We have letting go here. Everything is indeed out of control, and God will hold it all. I can safely let go. And in the unconscious, we have acceptance. Radical acceptance in the now opens the flow. Do you feel in your heart, in your bodies through this reading, can you actually feel the detachment? Can you feel the vibration of how liberating it is to actually detach? But more than that, how detaching actually liberates your sovereignty. That once you're no longer plugged into any of these circuits, any of these ideas about what you think should happen or what you think you deserve or what punishment you think they deserve or whatever it is, that's when you are free to actually make grounded choices from your core soul frequency. I'm being now, this makes sense now that this karmic debt, let's just turn it right side up to look at it for a moment. It makes sense to me that this karmic debt is coming back around. I think in pop culture, people have kind of really used karma as kind of a lower frequency mechanism of punishment, right? Oh, well, they deserve that karma or things like that, that kind of energy. But really, our true karmic debt is an invitation. It's an invitation to our sovereignty, right? To understand that every action has a reaction, that we actually, there's no one else here in our lives. It's just us and our karmic ledger, right? It's us and source, right? And we are in control with the energy that we put out every single day. We are in control of how we choose to love, of how we choose to help and connect with others. I'm getting emotional, and she's crying in this image as well. We are in control of how our hearts choose to function in this life. Are we reducing someone's suffering or our own suffering, or are we adding to it? Are we in love or are we in fear? This is a very simple core thing. Is this bringing me closer to love, or is this bringing me closer to fear? That's it. If you just ask one question, that would be enough. That would gift you with enough work for a lifetime or for many lifetimes. Whew. Okay. What else should we get? Let's lighten this. Let's get some of these. I never use these on camera, so bear with me. All right. Let's see. Okay then. Creativity flows from me. I am a divine creator. And then we have my power lies in my peaceful presence. Do you know the other day, I think it was 3 days ago, when I was talking about the ministry of presence? Have you heard the term ministry before? Like like a priest has a ministry, or a holy person has a ministry. And I say holy person, but that's each and every one of us, right? We all can have a ministry. And it just, I haven't been able to let it go. I've felt very called to it all week. The ministry of presence. No one has to have any special skills or get any degrees or certifications to step into masterful presence. All you have to do is bring all of who you are and all of your heart to this moment. That's it. That's it. And that's more than enough. That is an exponential gift that you can give someone else. It's beautiful. And then we have, what does this say? Attacking others is an attack on myself. I choose to release this now. It's really interesting this came out because I was talking about karma, and I was talking about, that it's us against us, right? It doesn't matter what someone else has done. And I honor how painful situations can be. I honor the trauma that can arise from the actions or non-actions of others. However, it doesn't absolve us from taking accountability for self. Whew, okay. Anything else, Spirit? Anything else? Anything else you want to share? You know what? I want to get some self-care cards because I'm feeling like I need some self-care cards. Ooh. I'm always curious if you guys can feel the energy like I can. What do we have? Ooh, plan a vacation. And we have take a walk in reverse. Yeah, so it's interesting how these cards come out because, yes, you could take this literally and say take a walk or maybe don't take a walk or whatever, however you want to interpret that. But for me, it's like, where are you not taking the next step on your journey, right? We have use your hands and be still. It's so funny. I was just talking about with a friend that when I paint, and I haven't painted in a long time, I did a one-off painting recently, but I haven't, consistently devoted myself to the practice. And I have many titles in this life. I've played many roles in this life, but artist is the title or label that I'm most aligned with. And I haven't been creating art. This kind of channel has been my new flavor of artistic expression and self-expression. But I was just talking about with a friend today that when I paint, for some reason, it just does the trick and it gets me radically present in my body. When you're staring at a blank canvas, there's no one who's coming to help you paint that canvas. It's between you and your intuition and your energy and what wants to be birthed right now in this moment. What do you want to create? And the only way to get that information or to extract that information is to be radically present. There's no other choice. I mean, yeah, you could make willy-nilly random marks on a canvas and just have fun and splatter, but even that has a bit of intuition. What made you choose that color and why are you using that stroke and why does it look like this? By the way, it's a huge painting. Maybe I'll post it on the community page, but I painted this painting and I love it. And I didn't mean for it to be the backdrop of my YouTube channel, but it has been. All right, so be still, meditation, mindfulness, mindful practices. If you're someone that can't stand like sitting still meditation, you can do a walking meditation. And then we also have beauty ritual. It's interesting that we're sandwiching the reading. I'm going to end here, but we're sandwiching the reading with honoring the body. Remember how I was talking about honoring the vessel because this is the grand stage which all this drama and pain plays out. Honor your body. Really honor the beauty of your body. How can you celebrate and make yourself feel beautiful or tell yourself you're beautiful and really let it sink into your marrow until you believe it? I think I'm going to leave it there, guys. This was beautiful. It felt like a soft intensity. All right.